another brisk morning. We're up and running. So hopefully, I don't know if our sawmill parts will be here or not today. I'm really hoping they are. So this big guy we top cut off of the log last night and set him to the side. We're gonna make our 14-foot floor joist out of this guy. So we'll cut that right out of the middle. We'll end up with a bunch more firewood. Yay! Trying to do some cleanup this morning. I've got this brace stock down here. That piece that I just moved, honestly, firewood. It just has too much weight in it. The problem is we're getting this monster pile of lumber. I mean, you can see this piece. It's pretty much just round cut. There might be a 2x something in there, but I don't know. It just ends up becoming time consuming. I might throw it on the mill and take one board out of it. Just seems like a tragedy to waste wood, but I think when you realize we have 12 more logs in the deck, we've only milled 4 so far, and we're supposed to get 2 more loads just like that one. We've got all that material to get through. You realize that this stuff unfortunately just becomes a casualty of production. So try to get a floor joist out of this one, tidy up this stuff down here, and then we'll start on that monster log right there. And I can already tell probably gonna have to cut that log in half about there, work on this piece, and then work on that piece because it's got a big bow in it. Like, yay. These colder mornings, which are a sudden change from the hot, ridiculously hot weather, we've been having to warm everything up. So I've been warming up the sawmill, warming up the chainsaw, warming up the backhoe. Backhoe started this morning just fine. I think just because it's not, I think it's 10 degrees warmer this morning than it was yesterday. So yesterday we milled up 6 pieces. That means we have 12 pieces complete. And our timber frame is 85 pieces, not including braces. It means we have 73 pieces to go. And I spent some time kind of staring at the log deck. A few videos back, I said, gosh, I think it'd be a really good idea just kind of sit here and measure and spend some time with these logs. My opinion hasn't changed a lot, but I feel like you really can't do that in the deck. I did spend some kind of time looking at them and saying, okay, that I think I can get that out of this, I can get this out of, but I didn't make a really big notebook and go through and number all these logs. One thing I can share today is that when you have a log with a lot of taper, it's not worth fussing over that log for more than maybe 15 minutes trying to get the maximum out of them, trying to find one that's like brutally obvious. Like this is actually a pretty good example. The butt on this tree is probably over 24 inches across, but by the time it gets to the other end, it's under 14. So you're losing 10 inches of tree in this log. So there's no point in trying to get an 8x15 or even an 8x12 out of this tree. It's probably going to be an 8x8 or maybe even a 6x12. Yeah, 6x12 probably not, because it's got such a big wow in the butt right here that the only usable part of this tree at full length is like right here. So you can see we're gonna lose 8 or 10 inches of the butt on this thing. You're looking for logs like this one has much less taper. It's not that it's big on this end, it's that it doesn't narrow down so much. So the butt on that end still pretty good size, but the taper on it is much less. So we could hope to get maybe an 8x10 out of this. When you get to a really straight tree, I guess I'm saying that the most ideal tree is a straight tree with very little taper. Something else that's become stupid obvious over the last couple of days, we're finally getting some production tricks going on here. And I know a lot of people said, hey, you'll probably wish you had the hydraulic mill. And I will definitely say that the LT15 is fantastic. Good mill. We're slowly learning how to get the precision that we want. And I think it goes without saying that if you want precision, you got to put in the time to get precision, especially out here in this kind of wobbly, rocky, concrete, log tossing world. That said, I think a lot of people said, well, you're going to probably want the hydraulic model and all this and that. So I can't completely disagree. I think I can definitely see the benefits of the hydraulic log rollers, you know, the hydraulic lifter, all this stuff, because without the backhoe, we'd be done. There's no way we're going to lift those logs or roll them or any other variation of transportation. We can't even hardly, once they're milled, flip them on the sawmill. So if you're in the market for a sawmill, definitely give some thought to about what you're going to use it for. Not that the LT15 is bad, but I think you have to really think if you're going to try to use physical labor. Like if I was working by myself only and Felissa could never come help me, I think that would be a huge factor. So I can't really see a one-man LT15 operation unless you're just brutally strong.
Pretty happy?
Looking pretty good. Just a bunch more brace stock, but it's nice that that's kind of like a byproduct of making the monsters. Time for another tree. Should have like a horn or something that we blow every time a tree goes on the mill. Like,
we can arrange that.
Like a big ship.
How about like a cowbell? Like the last lap of a race?
Yeah, that could be fun. Something dramatic. The whole valley can hear. That way they know every time a log goes up. Yep. And we can hear like, hooray!
We could do like the cannon, like in the Hunger Games.
Oh yeah, there you go.
All set up again. Wow, this thing's like bigger than my torso. Okay. Okay.
Let's check the sawdust. Hold on. So I think I'm going to try something different, except I'm smothered in PP&E. For all you safety Sallies out there, you'd be hella proud. Practically can't move or breathe, but boy am I safe. My God, I can't get hurt now. Not like we're moving around 3,000-pound logs. Anyway, if you can still hear me, I mapped out two different 12 by 16s. Basically, I mapped out the bottom most extreme 16 and the top most extreme 16. And of course, somewhere in there, there's also a couple of 16s. So I'm gonna kind of be aggressive here and cut pretty much the top of this tree off. And I don't really want to cut inside any of these outermost lines, because that really represents, you know, the best possible timber, except for on the far side over there, the tree's got a big gully in it. So that's why I mapped out this one on the right. because I'm pretty confident this side looks good. So I may have to move my timber to the right. Let's see what happens.
We're gonna put these in the house to plane them because our planer arrived today. Whoa. Need to set some sawhorses up. I think maybe bring the sawhorses up there down at your head.
Hey.
Granny throw. Are you trying to catch it?
Yep. Oh, I got it.
Sorry, camera.
Turns out they needed to watch out.
I know, right? I knew it was gonna fly off my head the second I jumped.
I don't know why you gave me the magic part.
And this camera already has one crack in it. I think it's in your upper right. Our other Sony is in the Sony hospital right now, and it only costs $100 to repair the lens. So when we get that one back, we're sending you in. We've only had $400 in camera repairs in the past year. That's pretty good in our books.
Ahoy!
Let her down. I don't know what you're doing. Too much is going wrong for you to be in a good mood, that's for sure. Good.
So take that strap and loop it around like twice.
I don't even know.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's a waste of time. Let's just let
Okay, it won't even go around once, I'm pretty sure.
It's worth a quick update. Been running on that slightly injured drive belt, and we've cut 2 full logs since then. And at first I did lose a little bit of rubber because the drive belt on the LT15 is kind of like a double serpentine belt, double V belt. So it's kind of like redundancy, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they thought of that. And it's been cutting fine. I think I've learned my lesson with sharp blades. Keep your blades sharp. And I had wood-mizer send me another box of blades, and I'm thinking that we're just going to probably switch blades per log. Partly we're not removing the bark, so we're definitely not being easy on the blades. And then we're cutting some pretty thick stuff, you know, so you really want the blade sharp just to reduce stress. Anyway, so fortunately we're still running, and I think Alyssa did tell me that the new blades are in, so we got to go pick those up. Not new blades, new belts, and get those installed. They'll give me a lot more peace of mind. So my strategy on the last one, I was super aggressive. We have all this waste, and I can't say with confidence that we couldn't have gotten a little tiny bit more log out of that. I don't know. I do know that production is probably the most important thing at this point. We just don't have the luxury of time. So I've mapped out a couple of 8x15s on here because we need a couple of those, but I forgot there's 17 feet and this is only a 15.5 foot. I'm gonna go after the other half of our ridge beam, which will be a 13-foot 8x12. Since I've got an 8x15 in here, I'm very confident, based on how straight this is, that I'm gonna get an 8x12. This is definitely the most generous 15 here, so I'm gonna go aggressive here, aggressive down here and try to get this 4-sided quartered and get this 8x15, or excuse me, this 8x12 out of here and get moving on the log pile. Alyssa says that this thing is a baby monitor, and so when I go wah wah, she comes. So I think we should test it out here. Wah wah, wah wah.
Can you say that again? I had the volume turned up.
She didn't even hear me, guys. Wah wah, wah wah.
Ha ha.
Is that how you respond to a crying baby? Oh no.
I bet you're excited to find out.
I need your help, dog. See guys, I told you she'd come. It's sawmill whipped.
Okay. Whoa. Are we going in the house?
Oh, hold on.
Okay. Okay.
This is the other half of our ridge beam.
Your craftsmanship has improved since last night.
My craftsmanship? How?
Just looks neater.
My wrightmanship?
Like, you have like 8th grade writing instead of 1st grader. Quick town run. We have 3 packages to pick up. One is a 40x40 tarp, so we can tarp our subfloor so that when it starts raining, people underneath don't get rained on, which is important for the workshop. We also have our planer. Really excited to pick that up. Might test it out tonight. Lastly, our wood-mizer package. I think Jesse ordered more bands. I don't know the proper term for it. Whatever broke, we have more of those. Back from town. Got the goods. I think that's the butt end. I'm pretty sure this tree's father mated with the willow tree.
Probably.
Cause I don't know where or like a bamboo tree. We know what happened in China. Do you want the rails up more?
The side support?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's pretty good. Look at me leveling and wedging that log all by myself. Go, Alyssa. Uh-oh. Should I tell Jesse? Or should I let it get covered up in sawdust? Wanna know what I found on the sawdust?
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
That's all I get. All done for the night. We almost finished, except lo and behold, our beam is getting, what's the term? What's the politically correct term?
Wedge shaped. Size challenge.
Size challenged at the end. So yes, calibration, I'd say, just moving all these big logs around. So
oh yeah.
I think we're getting quick at identifying it though. And we find if we both get on our hands and knees and kind of look under, we can often see daylight under parts of the beam. So unfortunately, that's something that we're gonna have to do in the daylight.
What's really strange is that we just cut the other side and rolled
It's
it.
fine.
And it's absolutely dead on. But it's just not enough daylight to
Yeah.
sit here and diagnose it.
I
So
think we've done good. How many beams or how many members, I guess is the correct term, did
I
we
don't
get today?
know what we
5?
did today. For sure 5, because I finished a floor joist this morning. We
got
made 3 more floor joists, which took forever. And then we made an 8x12, which was our ridge beam.
So that almost 6.
So this would actually be 6.
So that's pretty good. We had some interruptions, had some errands to do.
According to our math, starting right now, we have 68 pieces left to cut. And if we average 4 pieces a day, we'll be done in time for the workshop. But we had just every day, we seems like we got something that's an hour or 2 out of the day, you know, that takes a while. Like that 3 floor joists took half a day. Just because I was sitting there trying to make something out of a log that isn't going to happen, and I'm over here trying to make 3/4 lumber. Like this one, how long does this take? An hour? You know? I mean, I could be putting out 7, 8 pieces a day, no problem, if I wasn't sitting here trying to get every last square inch out of a log.
The good news is I think we had 20 logs delivered and there's 10 left. So that's pretty good.
There's 10?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So we went through 2 logs today. Well, 1.5.
On that note, catch you guys tomorrow.
What are we doing now? Dinner, ice cream?
Yeah, the norm.
The same as every night. All right. Oh, and then we got all this firewood to cut.
Oh yeah, I did a pretty good job cleaning up.
It's going to keep somebody warm for a couple winters.
Yep.
Or heat the hot tub.
Bugaboo and I'd rather have you to keep us warm. We don't want to be self-sufficient.
Right. All right, got the laser, thank you.
Yep, I think everything's cleaned up.
Okay, that's good.
Might want the chainsaw sharpener.